Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, 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 Bahasham Rachaha Kodash. Bless you, Yahweh. Bless you, Yahweh Shai. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Call Halayim La, Allah Hayanawa, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Call Halayim La, Allah Hayanawa, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. All praises to our power, our Father, Yahweh, is the name of the Most High, which means He to be. He is, He exists. Bahasham, in the name. Yahweh Shai is the name of only begotten Son of Yahweh, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. His real name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, which means He is the Savior, He is the deliverer, He is salvation for the nation of Israel only, beginning with the elect. Peace and blessing to the elect. All right, Shalom, Wabarak, Labachariam, Shal Yasharala. Peace and blessing to the elect of Israel. Okay? And double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And once again, Shalom to the house of David. Peace and blessing to the house of David. All right. Which I'm going to say this, man, starting off, us here at Great Millstone, we do believe that the Lord gave us 100% truth. Why is that? We believe in Yahweh Shai. We believe in the only begotten Son of Yahweh. So, you know, of course, if a guy says that he doesn't believe in Yahweh Shai, of course he's going to say he doesn't have 100% truth. Yahweh Shai is the truth. So if you don't believe in the Lord, then you're not in the truth. You know? Well, what did Yahweh Shai say? I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So yeah, you know, damn horn. You know, hey, these cats are disconnected, man. Because they don't have the Son. They don't have Yahweh Shai. And that's why they mad. And really it's an envy thing. You know, it's jealousy. You know, that's really what it is. All right, because we ain't studying them cats, man. We don't talk about them unless it's concerning the doctrine. You know, but you sneak this and a dry dissing, it ain't gonna help you, man. It makes you look worse, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you got your men doing cadences like they in Edom's military. You know, man, I'd rather hear that damn song by that one Atlanta rapper, that old rapper, Drama, Left, Right, Left. I'd rather hear him than watch IUIC, you know, marching. I'd rather hear that guy. I'd rather hear Pastor Troy than hear y'all rap. Y'all tripping, man. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about y'all. All right. I just wanted to say we believe we have 100% truth. We believe in Yahweh Shai. You can believe what you want to believe. Now I'm gonna get into this, man. I pray this edifying. It's a whole lot that I need to get into. But it's gonna be a shorter video, Lord willing. All right. You know how that goes, you know what I'm saying? But pretty much it's a lot of information and I can't bring it out in one session. All right, I got to break it up. But you know, the topic is the tribe of Reuben. Okay, the tribe of Reuben, and we're gonna get some scripts, go through the scriptures. Okay, and man, everything's in the Bible. All right, so let's go. All right, Holy Bible. You see, I'm in the car. All right, but Holy Bible. Okay, and we're gonna go to Genesis. And this video isn't gonna be in Spanish. All right, I'm still working on my Spanish. You know, pretty much. I'm a Jake that's always on the move, man. So I'm doing a lot at one time. You know, I just started a new job, and I'm getting a lot of things together. So, you know, but Lord will, I can still get into the Espanol. That's one of my goals right now. All right. But we're in Genesis chapter 49. All right. Genesis 49. And Salakia once again. Genesis 49 and verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn. Now, who is it speaking? Who's speaking right here? Let's start at verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourself together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Meaning what's going to happen to their progeny. The tribes that each son would produce. Each son would produce a tribe. So what will happen to the tribes that come from them in the last days? And we're in the last days now. Okay, so what Jacob, our forefather, is about to say, it goes into prophecy. The prophecies that will happen to each tribe in Israel. Okay. All right, now let's go. Verse 2. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. We know Jacob's name was changed to Israel. All right, which means he's a prince of the power. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength. All right, and that's literal. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn son. But then it goes to the spirit of the tribe that he would produce, beginning with Reuben himself, but also the spirit of the people that will come from him. Each tribe carries a particular spirit, certain attributes, certain characteristics, certain traits, certain tribal traits. So we're dealing with the tribal traits of Reuben, which Reuben in the Hebrew, Ra'abun. It's a son. C is a son. All right, Ra'abun. Now it says, Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might in the beginning of my strength. You know, which a father is very proud. I'm gonna say rightly proud, or you know, we'll say confident, because I don't like saying the word proud. You know, a father is very confident. You know, he's happy when he has his firstborn son. All right. So it says the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity. So now it's getting into the tribal traits of Ra'abun or Reuben. The excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. And you see that, you know, with Reuben's spirit that they exude. You know, you see that with their mannerisms, you know, how they move around. Okay. And they're a tribe that they can pretty much be anywhere. Like you got that one song by the Temptations, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. That's pretty much how Reuben is. Reuben can really live anywhere. They can live anywhere. They can be around any type of people. That's the spirit of that tribe. Like they can do that. Like they can what's the word, man? They can adapt. You know, Reuben can adapt very easily. That's a part of their spirit. You know, Reuben can be alone. They can be loners, or they can be around people. You know, they're like water. Well, let's get it. You know, we're gonna read some more. The excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. You see that in how they are, the mannerisms, how they dress. You know, and that's why I got this peacock feather. You know, it reminds me of Reuben. You know what I'm saying? Tribe of Reuben. Their spirit, it shows forth, like, you know, just the way Jake is. You know, their spirit draws a lot of attention. You know. All right, but verse 4. Unstable as water, because they're like water, you know. And once again, unstable meaning that they move around. All right, and you really saw that spirit when E came into power. And when I say E, I'm talking about the self-proclaimed white man, so-called white man. When they came into power, you saw Reuben getting the spirit of water, you know, because they were not willing to compromise with this devil. They were not willing to accept defeat, and they were not willing to take upon the white man's religion. They were not willing to take upon the so-called white man's religion, which is their plantation Christianity. So Reuben was unstable as water, you know. Now it says, thou shalt not excel. Now it's going back into the man Reuben himself, the actual son himself. Thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. Because you go into the account, you know, Reuben, which is Jacob's son, he laid with Jacob's concubine. All right, so he lost that right as the firstborn son. It was given to Judah. All right, instead, you know, it was given to Judah. You know, so Judah is the head tribe. You know, but originally it was Reuben. But Reuben lost it due to him committing adultery. Okay, but it says, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. Right. Like he laid with his woman, you know, with his concubine. All right, but going back to this again, unstable as water. You saw that when E, so-called self-proclaimed white man, when they came into power, Reuben started moving around to get away from the so-called white man. You know, they didn't want to make treaties with the so-called white man. They didn't want to take on his religion. Okay. But it's obvious who Reuben is. And I got a stone with me, man. Hold on, let me find it. Give me a second, Baba Kasha. And I just had it too, man. Here we go. The water y'all bashim shy. This is what's called carnelian. It's a bracelet I got, but this is carnelian, and this is the stone for the tribe of Reuben. You know, and pretty much although Reuben is unstable like water, which means that they move around, they can move around, you know, easily. Their spirit is like fire, because you know the carnelian stone, when you look at it, it has the appearance of fire. You know, even when what you read Revelation, the 4th chapter, it gives you the physical appearance of the Father, Yahweh, on the throne, and it said he that sat on the throne was like unto a jasper and a sardine stone. Sardine stone that goes into a carnelian. You know, if I'm not mistaken. I went into it a while back, you know, but scriptures that say our God is a consuming fire, you know. But yeah, you know, you see Reuben, because each tribe has a stone that's associated with that tribe. You know, Reuben's Spirit, well, is like fire. Well, hey, you look at Apostle Rakah Allah. Well, Rakah, it means spirit. Your spirit is made of fire. Your spirit is fire, you know. But I just found it interesting, man. This stone is associated with that tribe, you know, and that's their spirit, bro. Reuben will light your ass up like shit, you know. You don't want to get to fight with Reubenite, man. Reuben is, whoo, you know. But yeah, they spirit is like fire, man, you know. But dealing with this prophecy though, it says unstable as water. We're gonna deal with that some. Like I said, I'm really gonna have to come back because it's a lot of information that I want to bring out. I got some good things for y'all in the spirit, man. You know, this book here, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. I said I was gonna get back into it. The Lord had it to where I kept this book, you know, and I ate the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for that. You know, I still got this book today. Because I called myself, it was a while back, man. I think I gave a copy to this one Miccosukee, and that Miccosukee, man, he was wicked. He was a damn nigga, man. Well, you know, at the time I was simple. I was wanting him to get the truth. This was like in 2012 or something like that. But I think I gave him a copy of this book, and I kept a copy myself. But I shouldn't have gave that nigga that book, you know. But you know, I was being simple. But now I regret it. I would have rather gave that book to a brother. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the Lord bless me. Still had this one, the Water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay. Hey, the Water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai got this book. This book goes into Reuben. And what I want to show, maybe I can show it today. I'm gonna go in the spirit. You know, if the spirit had me bring it out today, I'm gonna just bring it out today. You know, hey, I'll bring it out today. Because I'm showing the book now. Say maybe I'll bring it out today. But you have what's written in this book is heavy. What's written in this book was taken from this book. You know, dealing with Reuben. So Lord will, I can, you know, align it, and you know, we'll get into it, Lord willing. But what I want to show first is something from a book that I recently got. You know, the Elder Malcolm said the hard copies was going for $10K or $10,000. Hey, 10 bands. Hey, Edom is a bitch, man. Edom is a bitch. You charging $10,000 for a book, but that shows you they know. Because why would you charge all that money for this information? Because they want to keep it away from Jake. They know the average Israelite don't got $10,000. And if Jake has it, Jake gonna do something else with that money, you know. But there ain't no way. Jake don't see 10K. Some Jake don't see the type of money in a year. Some Jake. You got the homeless among our people. Esau, hope for that, man. You know the elder said, and that's the Elder Malcolm, which he's Reuben, by the way. For those of y'all that don't know, you know, GMS Maccabean Spirit. You know, the elder said the hard copies was going for 10K for a while after we started using it. That shows you they know. See, they wasn't charging that amount before we got our hands on this information. But all of a sudden, they saw videos coming out on the tribes. Eat them like, hell nah, I got to put an end to this. So they charging that amount of money, which is too late. It's too late, you know. It is what it is, man. The spiritual jack out the box, so to speak. The truth is out, man. Ain't nothing you can do. All right. But yeah, dealing with the prophecy, it says unstable as water. We're going to get into that. All right. Now, I had this book here. Very good book. I actually checked it out from the library, and I may end up buying it. Lord will. All right. 500 nations. It goes into Gad and Reuben. And actually, hey, it's big. It really goes to a lot of Northern Kingdom tribes in general. This book touches on Ephraim, you know, the so-called Arawak, so-called Taino. It touches on Issachar, you know, so-called Mexicans. This book, it gets down, bro. And it touches on Gad, you know. It's by Alvin M. Josephine Jr. 500 Nations. You know, you see the tribes. All right. Now it says an illustrated history of North American Indians, which is the tribe of Gad, man. But this book doesn't only go into Gad, and you'll see. Okay, it goes to Reuben as well. All right, and we're on page 139. I just want to get to the point because it's a lot of information. Okay, and these are things you can look up yourself, by the way. And the water you how about Shemel Shai got some sunlight left. You know, I hope the phone don't overheat on me. All right. Now, this is the last paragraph. It says, left to themselves, the Calusas returned to the ruins of their town. Now, the Calusas, they're also Reuben. All right. Now, let me see if I can flip back to this for you. Okay. Because you had different tribes in Florida. All right. Different indigenous tribes, but some of these indigenous tribes are the same tribe within Israel. Just like, hey, when you look at Gad, the tribe of Gad, so-called North American Indians, they're made up of a lot of Gadite tribes, but they're all Gad collectively. That shows you Abba far out, man. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is far out. But it says the Calusas of Florida. I'm gonna read a little bit of this. Now it says northwest of the Arawaks, and the Arawaks is Ephraim. All right. All right, and you may have Simeon and Manasseh a part of them as well, just like the Taino. Now it says and Caribs, which if I'm not mistaken, they're also Ephraim. But it says of the West Indies, in the southern part of the Florida Peninsula on the mainland was another proud and determined Indian nation, that of the Calusas, who also fought hard against the Spaniards. Possessing one of the most unusual civilizations in North America, the Calusas built their capital city, known as Calos, on huge shell mounds on the peninsula's southwest coast in the area of San Carlos Bay near present-day Fort Myers, which is more I need to go into, man, and I'm gonna just stick within what I know. But if I'm not mistaken, dealing with America, period, Reuben calls America Turtle Island, you know. But to me, this is spiritual. Calusas, they built a city made out of shells, man. You know, and they're in Florida, which, you know, the Spaniards, they caught a lot of hell from the Calusas. You know, they couldn't easily subjugate them. All right, a lot of things went down in this country, bro. Don't think it was easy for Edom to overcome us, you could say. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna go back more into this on another time, Lord willing. Lord willing, all right. But we gonna get this, man. I just want to show you about the Calusas. All right, now, once again, this is on page 139. Left to themselves, the Calusas returned to the ruins of their town, named a proper successor as their head chief, and continued their old ways. Continued their old ways, because see, that got to be Reuben. That got to be Reuben. Edom was not able to overcome them like that. The excellency of dignity, we read that in the prophecy. The excellency of dignity, meaning I'd rather you kill my ass than you conquer me, nigga. That's pretty much the mentality that Reuben had or have. Let's read it again in the prophecy. Let's read it in the prophecy, okay? Genesis chapter 49, verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. So they were not willing to be broken up by the so-called white man in a sense of breaking their pride, breaking their integrity, their tribal integrity. You know, he couldn't do it. So he caught hell. He caught hell. The most he did was bring down their numbers. But it says, once again, left to themselves, the Calusas returned to the ruins of their town, named a proper successor as their head chief, and continued their old ways. I like that, man. A century later, they established amicable. They established amicable relations with more benign Spanish authorities in Florida, and opening trade with Spaniards on the peninsula as well as in Cuba, which they could reach in their boats in 24 hours. Gradually adopted various Spanish customs. It happened. But as a whole, they didn't stop their old ways. As a whole, they adopted a few things from E, but as a whole, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. That's that tribe. So the Calusas, this is Reuben as well. Okay. Now it says, nevertheless, although they became known in Florida as the Spanish Indians, they never adopted Christianity. Woo! You goddamn right. They never adopted Christianity. They never adopted the so-called white man religion. This is Reuben. The excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Now it says, white men's diseases running wild among all of Florida's Indians eventually reduced their numbers drastically, ending their strong independent chiefdom and accomplishing what Menendez had failed to do. Because see, Menendez, this damn Spaniard, pretty much he wanted them to be subjugated, and he wanted them to receive Roman Catholicism, and it didn't work. Which it's a lot of info in this book. There's a whole lot of info, and unfortunately, I don't have the time right now to get into all that. I just want to get the meat right now, get the main part, But reading on, it says, in the 18th and 19th centuries, small surviving groups of Calusas joined migrant bands of Creeks and others who were entering Florida from the north. With them, they became the Seminole and Miccosukee Indian nations of today. Right, so the Calusas and the Creeks, this is Reuben. Whom we call the Seminole today, this is Reuben, the Miccosukee, Reuben. All right? But see, Reuben moved around. We read it in the prophecy. Unstable as water. So you got Reuben really some of everywhere. Now, when you deal with the Creek, as I mentioned earlier, and I'll do another video on that, the Creeks were primarily in Alabama and Georgia. You see? But this is Reuben. But unstable as water, you can't limit this tribe to just only being in a particular area. They moved around. They moved around a lot. Actually, the Creeks, there's a lot of them that moved to Arkansas. There were different dispersions, But reading this part again, because this is some meat to me right here. Surviving groups of Calusas joined migrant bands of Creeks and others who were entering Florida from the north. With them, they became the Seminole and Miccosukee Indian nations of today, which are all Reuben. All right, which is not far-fetched, because when you think about all the tribes that make up one tribe, you look at Gad, all these different tribes in North America, the majority of them, will say, are Gad. But you do have Reuben that's here. We're reading about Reuben, and you had Issachar that were here. You had some of the other tribes that had different dealings here. You know, they would move back and forth. A lot was going on when E brought his red stinking ass over here. A lot of things were going on, a lot of travel, a lot of trade, you know. These different things didn't start with the so-called white man. Jake already had systems put in place before E came over here. All this damn devil did was bring diseases, you know, and wickedness. That's all he did, you know. Ingenuity and creativity, you know, these different things didn't start with the so-called white man. This damn devil brought death. That's what the fuck he did, man. Excuse my language, all right? But that's what he did, though. All right, now, and it's a very good book, man. All right, once again, I'll show the cover. All right. Hey, this book, it gets down, man, and you know, a lot of it pisses you off because when you go into this history, you can see it as if you were there. And E got a lot to pay for, bro. They got a lot to pay for, and they will pay. They will pay. Now, I tell you what, we're dealing with Reuben. Wow, man. I gotta read that again. Salakia. Give me a second. I gotta go back to that. Because I want to get another prophecy. Okay. Once again, this is a very good book. If you can acquire it, you'll be satisfied with what you can learn. We're going to get another prophecy. All right. We're in the Holy Bible. The only book of prophecy. Okay. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 33. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 6. Now, when you read in Deuteronomy 33 as well as in Genesis 49, this all deals with the prophecies that will happen to the 12 tribes of Israel in the last days. Deuteronomy 33rd chapter and Genesis the 49th chapter all deal with the prophecies that will happen to the 12 tribes of Israel in the last days. Okay? So, I tell you what, we're going to read the first couple of verses. Yeah, I tell you what, we'll read 1 down to 6 because the point is in 6, all right? So let's go. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of the Most High God, Yahweh, blessed the sons of Israel. Children means sons. In the Hebrew, children is bunyam. Bless the sons of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord in all caps is Yahweh. All right. Yahweh, which means he to be. He is, he exists. So, and he said, Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. Right. So, dealing with when we received the law, statutes, commandments at Mount Sinai, you know, you had a lot of angels present at that mountain. You had that humongous chariot over that mountain, over Mount Sinai. All right. But you had other chariots there as well. It was very dramatic when the Israelites received the law, statutes, commandments. From his right hand went a fiery law for them, which means the laser beam from that chariot, from that main chariot that was over that mountain, the laser beam etched the law, statutes, commandments in tables of stone. It was very dramatic, all right? Yeah, he loved the people. He loved Israel. He loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand. The saints are Israelites. The angels are called saints, and the Israelites are called saints. The saints on the earth are Israelites. All his saints are in thy hand, and they sat down at thy feet. Everyone shall receive of thy words. That happened. Who was at the mountain? You know, our people. That says, Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun. So Moses, he's our first king. And Jeshurun in the Hebrew is Yashawan, which means the first. You know, that's a nickname for Israel. All right, the first, because we're the Lord's firstborn. You know, hey, well, he cursed out Pharaoh. You know, the Lord cursed out Pharaoh by way of Moses. Well, what he told Moses, tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Israel is my firstborn. Jeshurun means the first, so that's spiritual. But Moses, he was our first king, showing you who he is in spirit too. But reading on, it says, when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together, and all tribes, hey, that was a heavy time. All 12 tribes came out of Israel, came out of Egypt. All 12 tribes came out of Egypt together. All right. All 12 tribes of Israel. Now it says, verse 6, this is the point. Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. Reading that again. Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. Because reading this right here, this account in this book, The 500 Nations, on page 139 again, we read this. It said, white men's diseases running wild among all of Florida's Indians eventually reduced their numbers. So let not his men be few. So what the Lord did, he allowed Reuben, or the Calusas, which are Reuben, to link up with other tribes that make up Reuben. You see? For the survival of that tribe. Let not his men be few. You can't make it up. White men's diseases, white men meaning Edomites, diseases that they brought from Europe, running wild among all of Florida's Indians, eventually reduced their numbers drastically, ending their strong independent chiefdom and accomplishing what Menendez had failed to do. Because if their numbers were brought so low, it's pretty much a failure to you, because you wanted them numbers, because you wanted all of them to receive that Roman Catholicism so you can control this large number of people, but your dirty ass destroyed them, man. You gotta pay, bro. And it's parts of this book, bro. I hate to, get emotional and stuff, but it's parts of this book. It's parts of this book. It's parts of this book that it can make you cry. When you read the atrocities of what he did to our people, man, and you can link it to the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would have to hold back tears, man. Esau got a lot to pay for, man. They got a lot to pay for. And I'm gonna end up having to come back, I'm gonna do another part, a few parts, probably like 3 or 4 parts on Reuben, because I really want to get into Reuben, But hey, you can't make it up, man. White men's Edomites diseases running wild among all of Florida's Indians eventually reduced their numbers drastically, but let not his men be few, ending their strong independent chiefdom and accomplishing what Menendez had failed to do, because he wanted to Romanize them, He wanted to brainwash them with that, with the so-called white man's religion. Okay. In the 18th and 19th centuries, which is the 17 and 1800s, small surviving groups of Calusas joined migrant bands of Creeks and others who were entering Florida from the north. Let not his men be few. Let not his men be few. With them, they became the Seminole. Seminole means runaway. Unstable as water. And Miccosukee, Indian nations of today, but they're all Reuben. The Calusas, the Creeks, the Seminole, and the Miccosukee. All right? They're all Reuben. Now, let's see something, man. Because I'm on a spiritual clock because I have some other things I gotta do in the spirit as well. All right. But I'm gonna come back. I pray. Lord willing, maybe tonight. Because I gotta go back into this book here. And like the elder said, that book going for 10 bands, bro. You know, and once again, I can't fail to make mention of how what's written in this book comes from this book, comes from this information. All right. So we're gonna touch on that, Lord willing. But let's see, let's go to 3:17. All right. What we also have to remember is that you have what's called the Indian Removal Act. Okay. If you don't know what that is, you should look it up. You have what's called the Indian Removal Act. It's also called the Trail of Tears. And our people were moved from the east to the west. You know, all the southern tribes of Gad and Reuben, they were moved out west to Oklahoma, but not only Oklahoma. All right. And he got to pay for that because, you know, this happened in the dead of winter. It's like it's winter time now, right? People catch hell. You got people freezing alive right now. You know, they're getting froze to death right now. Well, that happened to our people in the Trail of Tears, man. And they had their elderly with them. They had their sons and daughters with them, very young, man, infants. They had their little ones, which little one, it means infant, you know. But they had their offspring, and a lot of them died, bro. A lot of them ain't make it, you know. But yeah, we can run down on this. Just read some of this, because remember, Reuben, unstable as water, they moved around, okay. And you see why. To survive. Removed from the South by the early 19th century, the 1800s, the great Indian nations of the South, the Cherokees, Choctaws, which Mississippi is a Choctaw nation, all right, Chickasaws, and Creeks no longer constituted a military threat to the young U.S., you know, the young United States, because Babylon the Great was in its infancy, but Eve was still coming into power. You know, being birthed from the Spanish, the French, the British. Okay, that little horn. Within each nation, deep divisions were growing between those who were trying to maintain their traditions and Indian way of life, and an increasing majority who were embracing the material culture of the whites. Hey, because you had what's called Indian boarding schools, man. They forced that way of life on us. What's that one old saying? EGOT, kill the Indian, save the man. And what they would do, they would force our people to speak English, not allow them to speak their native language, and they would cut their hair off and make them dress like a so-called white man. Which this is still, to me, it's spiritual speculation. But I think the reason why a lot of Gadites have that long hair, because it was in remembrance of the Nazarite vow. That's what I think in the spirit, you know. I looked up some info on it. I didn't find too much, but something I believe in the spirit, though, you know. But yeah, Eve forced his way of life on us. In 1812, the rift among the Creeks turned into a bloody civil war. The Creeks, or Miccosukee, the Creeks or Miccosukee had received their English name from early traders. See, it's an English name, all right? You know, because I looked it up. Now, you have Miccosukee or Miccosukee that was given to them by the British, all right? But I want to touch on it, man, because you know, the Creeks, they had a Hebrew name too, and it's a spiritual. It links right up with Reuben. That may be my next video, Lord willing. That might be my next video. I pray. But see, this was given to them. by the British, by the English. Now it says, had received their English name from early traders who had noted that their towns lay generally along waterways of the interior. All right, and it says a widespread confederation of the descendants of Calusas. Remember this word too, because we're going to deal with this word, in the next lesson, Lord willing. Calusas and many of the other 16th century Mississippian nations whom De Soto had met and or heard about in present day Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama. The Creeks had gained importance not only because of their numbers and strength. This is Reuben. Remember, this is Reuben. But also because of their geographic position amid the competing empires of Spain, England, and France. Those three horns. Hey, that's the book of Daniel, man. Read Daniel, the 7th chapter. Okay? And their diplomatic skill in playing them off against each other for Creek friendship and influence. Right? That he was Reuben was Yaiquab their ass, They were supplanting them, But yeah, for right now, I'm gonna end off on this. I'm gonna come back. All right, because there's some heat right here. Like I said, we're gonna deal with this word here specifically. Calusas. All right. Calusas and Creeks, which is the same people. All right. But see, this goes into the Hebrew, which goes directly into the spirit of the tribe of Reuben, man. All right. But yeah, I pray this is edifying. Okay. Like I said, Lord willing, I'm going to be back. And I pray, hey, once again, Lord willing, hey, this was an acceptable sacrifice to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, this is what we're here to do. We ain't here to give you our opinion. We're here to give you the word, okay? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it got so intense, man. I started sweating. Jake sweating, man. But yeah, I pray this is edifying, though. All right? The Lord willing is edifying, man. My phone hot as hell. Shit. Hey, there's a spirit. It's time to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? But Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. 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 Bahasham, Rakha HaKodash. Double honor to elder apostles and elder bishops, great millstone, who still well. Peace and blessings to the elect. All right, like I said, I'm gonna come back, man. All right, Lord willing, the spirit is with this, It's all about what the spirit wants. So for right now, I'm gonna say Abba Babal, Wa Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.